Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-December 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go ahead and jump in and get started, Aries. And column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or months. Column number 2 is going to just be a general look at what's happening for the remainder of December. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message for our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, take a look at your crystal of the month, and do a healing note. But again, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Our first card we have is consistency. This is kind of a summary card for column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Props to you on your consistency. It seems like you have done a great job being heads down, getting some work done, Aries. It seems like you've really done well with consistency there. But let's see what messages we have coming through here. Okay, the first card that we have is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is a card of multitasking. It's juggling. It seems like you have a lot going on. But again, you've done a great job getting things done regardless of all that's been happening. The cat wants to come say hello. The Two of Pentacles can also be a decision and having to weigh your options and see what decision you're going to make, like really contemplating. You see this person's kind of weighing in both hands here. So I think there could also have been a pretty significant decision for you, Aries, the last few weeks. The next card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. Ace of Pentacles is new job, raise, promotion, investment, income, some sort of new money. So really positive money shift going into the end of the year here for you. And last but not least, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient. Again, you've been getting stuff done. I like this, Aries. I really do. It seems quite productive, quite consistent, moving in the right direction. But again, you've been like nose to the grindstone, getting things done here. It's also a card of communication, so it seems like you have had really effective communication the last few weeks as well. Let's see what clarifiers I can provide you here. The first card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of waiting, patience, delayed success. You see this person planted their pentacles and they're waiting for them to grow. You have been waiting to make this decision. I'm not sure exactly why here, but that's the message I'm getting. Whatever this decision was, Aries, you've been waiting to make it. The next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords we were just talking about. Again, this is you getting stuff done. Also, you deserve full credit for whatever this financial gain, this money move, career move is, Aries, because it's, again, all of the hard work that you have done. Also, like communicating what you want seem to have, of course, accomplished that as well. At the bottom, we have the Ten of Swords. Even though this looks pretty positive, it feels like you're kind of in a low spot. The Ten of Swords is low feelings. I would make sure you take a good long look at that, Aries. We want to make sure we're really lifting our spirits, especially going into the new year. So give yourself some R&R. Figure out why we have some of these low feelings. And again, make sure we get ourselves set up well for the next year. Let's go and take a look, though, what's coming for the remainder of December 2022. We have the card Space. I like this. Make sure that you're giving yourself the space, especially because we have this kind of Ten of Swords, low energy. Give yourself some space these next few weeks to really just take a breath. Look how peaceful and relaxed this looks. This person needs to be you, Aries, nice, peaceful, relaxed. Again, give yourself that space. Give yourself that time. And get yourself in a good headspace. Let's take a look, though, and see what messages we've got coming through here. The first card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of trusting your intuition, navigating the next few weeks. There does seem like there's going to be kind of a curveball coming for you. The Moon is saying that, as well as the Tower. The Moon is kind of like the curve in the road we didn't see coming. So just be aware, but again, using your intuition to navigate through that. Also, don't feel like you need to take prompt action. With the space card, it's like take the time and the space that you need. The next card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. It's a very generous card. It's a card of giving or receiving. I feel like you're going to be receiving something this month, which is nice. It could very well be associated with the holidays, but it's like this little extra something that you really needed you're going to be receiving. So I like that. At the bottom, we have the Tower card. The Tower card is a card of, it's like unwanted change. Again, there's like some curve in the road that's coming up. The one thing that's nice about the Tower card is like always takes us where we need to be going. And there's not going to be a rush with it. You can take the time and the space that you need to process, clarify, and see how you want to proceed forward. In terms of clarifiers, we have the Tower coming up again. Again, there's the curve in the road, the unwanted change. I guess what I'm telling you is expect the unexpected, because something is going to pop up. It's just going to be such a curveball. It's going to be so unexpected. But again, remember with the Tower card, the Tower takes us exactly where we need to go, exactly where we need to be. So really embrace this course correction, even if it doesn't feel great in the moment. The next card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a card of being very supportive, being very tolerant, being empathetic. First off, that needs to be you, is you kind of need to be tolerant and kind of go over the bumps and go over the waves with whatever this unexpected change is that's coming. But this is also, again, I feel like you're receiving exactly what you need this month, Aries. So that's that supportive. You're being supported in exactly the manner you need to be supported in. At the bottom, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change. It's like news coming in. You're going to find something out that I think that leads to the curveball, the curve in the road, the unexpected change. It's going to happen pretty quick, but like I said, that doesn't mean you have to respond quickly. So take the time and the space that you need in this situation, Aries. Okay, now moving on, let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. I did get this new deck of cards. They have like money, tips, tricks, advice. So let's start with one of those. In this case, it's going to be an affirmation for you, Aries. It says, money only enhances my true vibration. It doesn't decide it. Okay, so in this column, it's going to be anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Whatever you associate with money, Aries. Let's see what we're working with here. The first card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of working hard. It's mastering your craft. So it's getting really, really good and getting really, really skilled at whatever you're doing. It's also enjoying your employment though, which I love. So enjoying the work that you're doing. Not a lot of people can say that they enjoy what they're doing, so that's why I really like the Eight of Pentacles. Another thing with this card is like you're reaping the benefits of your hard work. Your hard work is really going to pay off when we see the Eight of Pentacles card. So overall, really nice card, especially love to see it in the money column. The next card that we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is one of those cards that's always favorable for you, Aries, so another good card to have. The Judgment card, though, is a card of clarity, so it's finding out information you need, and oftentimes this is a decision as well. So I do think there's going to be some sort of career or financial decision that needs to be made going into the end of the year. At the bottom here, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords can be a really gossipy card. It's very curious. It's kind of prying eyes. It's kind of like people trying to mind your business. I always tell people when I see this, like, avoid the water cooler talk, avoid the gossip, avoid the drama. It's not really relative to you, and it's just going to cause issues. So I would kind of lay low, stay in your own space, like we were talking about earlier with that space card. Again, I would just kind of avoid whatever chaos may be happening or gossip that may be happening there. It doesn't affect you, so don't participate if you can avoid it. Okay, the first card that we have in terms of clarifiers is the Devil card. The Devil card is a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. It's interesting because I see this card a lot in the money column, but oftentimes when I see it, it's like about sticking to a budget. So keep that in mind, especially as we go into holidays and the end of the year. Set whatever your budget is and stick with it. No need to overdo it, overspend. Don't go after those kind of devil traits where it's obsessive or super materialistic. But again, budget is oftentimes a meaning that I see with the devil card in the money column. The next card that we have is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. I do think that for some of you, you're pretty tired going into the end of the year, so make sure you're not overcommitting. Like if something pops up last minute, it doesn't mean you have to say yes to it. So just make sure you're not saying yes to everything. You almost need to be like, okay, somebody's asking for this. How do I feel? I'm not feeling the best. I'm going to say no. So it's like having those boundaries, checking in with yourself. This is also a card of persistence, and you need to keep pushing forward with whatever you're working on here. So keep that in mind as well. Again, you don't need to say yes to everything, but continue to make progress even as we go into the end of the year. Last but not least in this column, we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords I know looks a little gloomy. It's gray, blue. Everybody's facing away from us. Their heads are hanging low. But if you look at the boat is heading in a forward, positive direction. So I really like the Six of Swords. This is a necessary transition. This is something that needs to happen. So whatever this movement forward is, embrace it. I do think it's going to be likely driven with the decision that's made with the Judgment. Some sort of decision that needs to be made in order for you to continue moving forward. Perhaps whatever this is could be what people are like gossiping about or unhappy about or trying to find out kind of what your next move is. But again, my advice there is to not engage. The Six of Swords can also be travel or relocating. So some of you could be moving for work or doing some travel for work. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, Aries, which is anything related to love. Similar to the money column, I did get a new love deck. So let's take a look at your love message. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Okay, in this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love, Aries. Let's see what we come up with here. The first card we have is this, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. If you look at this person, their eyes are blindfolded, their arms are bound down. There's all these swords stuck in the ground. The interesting thing with this card, though, is like this, again, is something that you can change. So you can very easily wiggle back and cut yourself free. So I feel like there's something you want in terms of love, Aries, but you don't have it. But it's like you need to take a look as to why you don't have it. Maybe you want to be in a relationship, but you never talk to anybody and you don't leave your house. So it's like you're not opening the possibility for a relationship. That person is likely not going to come knock on your door. Perhaps you want to do healing, but you don't want to think about the event or the experience. It's one of those things. So it's like there's something you want, but it's like you're also kind of limiting yourself in accomplishing it. So now's a good time to reflect on that and see what can be done. The next card that we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card of healing. For a lot of you, I do think it's healing that needs to happen with this Eight of Swords. I think that perhaps is the limitation. With the Queen of Cups, if you look at this cup, it's really not a cup, it's more of a trophy, and you are the trophy. You need to make sure that you're treating yourself like a trophy and those around you are treating you like the trophy that you are, Aries. But again, a lot of this is about healing and making sure we're in a good position. At the bottom, we have the Ten of Swords. We did have the Ten of Swords again earlier. So this is kind of feeling low. It's tired. In general, I feel like your energies are a little low going into the end of the year, Aries. So do make sure that we take a good look at that. Healing definitely, I think, needs to happen here in terms of love for you this month. Let's go ahead, though, and see what other messages we have. The first card that we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a great card. This is like Prince or Princess Charming. It's knight in shining armor. It's literally everything you want. So it's when we can get past this restriction and when we can get past the healing, everything you could possibly want in a relationship is there. This could be the next step. This could be entering into a relationship. This could be contentment being single too. I realize that not everybody wants to be in a relationship, But it's like, it's right there. Once you can do the healing, once you can kind of unlock yourself here, Aries. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. I'm not sure what it is, but energetically now looks like a really good time for you to do this healing. It seems like there could be a lot of success in healing. There could be a lot of success in pursuing a relationship or advancing a relationship or entering into a relationship. Again, if we can kind of get our position where we're unlocked there. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is about being resourceful. So I will say, make sure that you're spending your energy in the right place. Make sure you're spending your energy on the right people, even, Aries. That's a message that's coming through. Being resourceful with the resources that you have. With the Queen of Pentacles, this is also a card of fertility. So you could be growing your family going into the end of the year if that's what you're hoping for as well. Okay, now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. Pulling the summary card here. The card is preservation. We were just kind of talking about this. Make sure you're spending your resources in a resourceful way. Using your energy appropriately. Using your time appropriately. Your money. All of your resources, make sure that we're preserving them and using them in the best way possible. One thing to keep in mind, though, is there is a possibility to over-preserve too, Aries, and you'll have to kind of dissect which side of this you're on. Do we need to preserve more, or are we over-preserving? But if you preserve too much, then you can block everyone and everything out. So it is kind of a fine balancing act in terms of preservation. But let's see what messages we've got coming through here. Okay, the first card that we have is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of freedom. It's kind of like an Energizer Bunny type card. More than anything, though, I think this is like saying, are we spending our energy in the correct place? And that's what we need to figure out. If we can sink our energy into the right place, the stars are going to align here. The next card that we have is the Sun card. In terms of good cards with the tarot deck, it doesn't really get much better than the Sun card. This is material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. Again, when we're putting our energies to the right place, everything else just kind of falls into line. We're going to be happiness. We're going to be getting those wins, that success, that joy that we're looking for. At the bottom, we have the Eight of Wands, which is card of speed, action, quick change. Again, as soon as we start putting our energy in the right place, everything falls in order. We're going to start seeing those changes we want. We're going to get the energy, the success, the happiness that we want. Let's go ahead and take a look here, though. The first clarifier we have is the Fool. The Fool is a card of fresh hope, taking chances, going on a new path, adventure, beginning. I don't know that this is so much new opportunity as new approach. Again, are we putting our energy in the right place? Likely not. I think we need to start putting our energy into a new focus. So that's what this is, directing our energy to a new and correct place for ourselves. The next card that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal. It's a card of hope. It's a card of energy. And again, when we are directing it to the right place, it really brings all of our energies up. The stars align. Look at all the stars on this card. I told you about the stars aligning there. And then again, it's on top of the Sun card. So it's like, it's so interesting. Something as maybe, I don't want to call it simple, but for the sake of this, something as simple as shifting your energy and making sure you're spending your time and energy in the correct place, Aries, is going to open all of this up. There's going to be joy. There's going to be happiness. There's going to be continued high energy here. So I really like how this plays out for you. At the bottom, we have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card of clarity. It's making a decision. It's like you know where you need to sink your energy, and it's making the decision to do that. Okay, at this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the 9 of clubs. This is the number 26 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 6 of clubs. This is going to be the number 43 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the 9 of hearts. This is the number 16 card. That's going to be a yes. So yes, no, yes for you there, Aries. If you watched our video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. Your crystal of the month is amethyst, which is good for dreams. It helps with losses, helps with sorrow, helps you let go of things that are no longer serving you. It's also great for reality, intuition, and mental clarity. Last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Aries, your healing note says, I am stronger than this challenge, and this challenge is making me even stronger. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But thank you so much, Aries, and I hope you have the best end of the year.